7 habits that make you ugly. You have to stop doing this. The physical appearance of a person is often the first thing that comes to mind when we make a statement about how attractive they are. One's attractiveness is determined by several factors, not the least of which is the presence of a beautiful face. At the same time, our personality and how we conduct ourselves can have a major influence on other individuals. Regardless of how we look, certain habits can either make us appear more appealing or less appealing. These behaviors can be of either type. Several behaviors that are not so pretty, and that might truly make you less attractive and cause people to choose not to interact with you will be discussed in this video. These behaviors will be shown in the following paragraphs. Number 7. Engaging in gossip. Sometimes it can be difficult to avoid partaking in juicy gossip. However, it is well worth the effort. If, on the other hand, you talk about other people behind their backs, you could come out as really disgusting. This is true regardless of how engaging the subject matter may be. When you behave in this manner, it gives the impression that you are not trustworthy and that you do not respect the privacy of other individuals. If you start the conversation with gossip, there is a chance that the person you are talking to may feel uncomfortable. This is because gossip is a form of social interaction. There is also the possibility that they are fascinated by the likelihood that they will one day become the focus of your talk. Number 6. Claiming to be proud of oneself. Developing a sense of self-assurance is undoubtedly something that ought to be a particular objective. On the other hand, having an excessive amount of self-assurance might not be the ideal option. You may give the appearance that you are unduly pleased with yourself if you are unable to stop talking about your achievements or successes. There is also the risk that others will view you as superior, as if you are better than them, and this will immediately turn them off. This is something that can happen. Number 5. Being tardy to the start of the event. When you are late, there are times when you are unable to entirely control the events that led to your tardiness. In the case that you were unable to escape a bad traffic jam and arrived 10 minutes late for your scheduled coffee date, for example, it is not your job to make up for the delay. If you find that you are running behind schedule for reasons, such as that every once in a while, it shouldn't be such a big deal. On the other hand, if you are constantly late for other reasons, such as not waking up on time or rushing into the shower 5 minutes before you are scheduled to meet someone, you may find that you come across as unfriendly and inconsiderate. There is a possibility that the other person will get the sense that you do not respect them adequately, or that you do not value the time that they have put in you. And this is not a quality that lends itself particularly well to being attractive. Number 4. Pessimism. There are times when every one of us is prone to experiencing a state of pessimism. This is something that happens to all of us. One way in which you could get a sense of relief is by talking with someone about how you are feeling. On the other hand, if you continue to talk about negative things all the time, you could unintentionally drive people away from you by your constant negative chatter. The reason for this is that being pessimistic is something that many view to be unattractive. They may be under the notion that the negativity is also impacting them, and as a consequence, they will do everything in their ability to avoid you to get out of that situation. Number 3. Being impolite to others. The trick that you should employ if you are going on a first date is something that you should be aware of. If you want to gain a better overall impression of who your date is, you should pay attention to how they interact with the workers who are serving them. Get out of there as quickly as possible if they are behaving in a manner that is both unpleasant and superior. It is through this way that we gain the understanding that being disrespectful is not just unpleasant, but also off-putting. When you behave unpleasantly, you not only show that you do not respect other people, but you also can make the people around you feel humiliated and uncomfortable. Number 2. Having an excessive degree of wordiness. What kinds of feelings do you get when you are in the company of people who instantly take the lead in the conversation? In your experience, have you found that their never-ending chatter is fascinating? No way is that likely. Every single one of us takes pleasure in contributing our input to the conversation. We get the idea that we are not being heard and that our opinions are meaningless when someone talks on and on for an excessive amount of time. One could say that we are merely listening in on their monologue to a significant degree. Take care not to dominate every conversation if you do not want to create the idea that you are unattractive. If you do not want to give such an impression, then try to avoid doing so. Number 1. Being unable to recall the names of other individuals. It is your name that is used to represent you. It is the name of a person that you are already familiar with up until the point where you learn anything further about yourself. It is believed to be of some value to remember because it is the first thing that someone tells you while they are shaking your hand for the reason that it is the first thing that they say to you. You can tell yourself, "Oh, I'm not very good with names." This is something you can say to yourself if you repeatedly fail to remember the name of a person. On the other side, another individual individual might think that you simply do not care enough to remember, or that you do not feel like making an effort to remember it. Furthermore, this can cause you to leave an unfavorable image of people, even if you had no purpose in doing so. Here are some concluding remarks. Have you shown any signs of adopting the behaviors that have been described? Are you familiar with a person who, despite their outward appearance, may not be as appealing when it comes to the way they behave? The question is whether or not they display any of these signals. Everyone is not perfect, and none of us are immune to the fact that we are prone to making errors. If, on the other hand, we can acquire new information and grow as a consequence of it, then this will only serve to make us better. If you discover that you engage in some of these actions in yourself, there is no reason for you to be concerned. Every single day allows you to make a significant change in your life. It is not only that you will feel better about yourself if you make an effort to improve yourself as a person, but you will also draw the attention of others and make yourself appear even more appealing than you currently are capable of being. So this is the end of our today's video. Do you like it? Kindly give your valuable response in our comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more interesting and informative videos.